Howdy, heretics. This is the Johan Cruyff Arena. How do you pronounce it?
Johan Cruyff.
Johan Cruyff. You know how they say Van Gogh? They say
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, you know. It's no wonder he cut off his ear. So this convention day, correct me if I'm wrong, they open the doors at 11 and it goes from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock p.m.
Well, they were supposed to open the doors at 11, but it seems that they've changed the schedule a little bit. So
yeah,
they will be a little bit earlier. That's what we expect.
Yeah, so they will have a police permit, and then we have a line behind us, behind me, that we doesn't disturb because, you know, private property and stuff like that. But this is fun, and I always walk around and just wave to the witnesses and bond a little, because the best way of interacting with them is just being like them. You create good rapport.
Yeah. So they're very interested in what's going on, and
they're curious people.
Yeah, they're curious people. So
how long were you a Jehovah Witness, and why did you leave?
I was born and raised, and I faded out since a long time ago. Maybe I started fading when I was around 30, and I definitely closed the door behind me when I was 40, so 40 years.
Okay, and that's your son?
Yeah.
So he was never baptized?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
So what are we trying to achieve now? If you would explain it to me like I was a 5-year-old child, what do we want to achieve with this protest?
Well, it would be nice if we could trigger some of the Jehovah's Witnesses to think a little bit more, a little bit deeper.
Yeah. Don't turn away from the microphone.
But the most important thing is that we raise awareness for the issues that come with being Jehovah's Witnesses, and we are, of course, targeting a wider audience than just the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
We need to better legislation to tackle the issue of shunning and protecting child abusers.
Yeah. I strongly believe that shunning already is illegal because it's not relevant. If Jehovah Witnesses would say that you are no longer welcome at the Kingdom Hall, that would be relevant. Yeah. Just like a Catholic priest can say I'm not welcome in a Catholic church.
Yeah.
But to say I can't meet in my parents' home as invited guest by my parents, that is not relevant. And if it's not relevant, it's not legal.
Yeah. Well,
there can only be relevant consequences
that's
from a leader.
That's the argument most people would agree with, but unfortunately the law around religion protects religion to the extreme, that it can get away with shunning and other things that for any other organization would not be allowed. So that's the issue. So we need to fine-tune legislation to tackle the issue, really.
So I'll tell you a story, all three of you here, because, and this is hearsay. It's about Jehovah Witnesses lawyer in Norway, that he went rogue and is, per some definition, an apostate now. So Jehovah Witness lawyer in Norway, according to hearsay, because I didn't speak with him directly, went rogue and is an apostate now, because from what I've heard and checked, but not checked personally, is that he left his Jehovah Witness wife. The Jehovah Witness was a believing Jehovah Witness and a lawyer, and he had a Jehovah Witness wife and Jehovah Witness children, and now they're no longer living together, and he's, from what I heard, live in Thailand. So he did the Thailand thing that some apostates had problems with. But anyway, poor guy. But this is just a speculation from my part. But imagine if you believe in the Jehovah Witness religion and you're a lawyer, so okay, you can twist your conscience a little bit, you know.
Well, you must be very cynical.
Yeah, but I don't think a believing Jehovah Witness lawyer would be cynical, because then he would leave the religion and get a well-paying job. Being a Jehovah Witness lawyer is not a well-paying job necessary.
Or he's a bad lawyer.
I don't know. I really don't know. But like, there was this case of a Jehovah Witness woman that claimed she was raped. She went to the elders, and they had very gross, immature interviews with her, and she was disfellowshipped for enjoying the rape. And this went all the way up to the Supreme Court. first she won, which I think she should have, because they just looked at this as a contract, and then Watchtower was in breach of contract. You can't just treat people like that based on the implied contract between a congregant and a church. But then the Supreme Court, they did see it different. They saw it like we had a ping pong verdict a few years ago. I think it was someone lost a game in a tournament in ping pong, table tennis, and took this to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said that the legislator and the Supreme Court should not rule in issues concerning internal rules like ping pong, so they basically didn't do anything. I think that's wrong. If you have a fight against another ping pong player illegally, obviously that should be done in court. What would be the opposite? So why wouldn't the Supreme Court rule? Anyway, they used the same principle in the case with Jehovah Witnesses. So they didn't say Jehovah Witnesses did anything wrong. It was more like, this is none of our business, end of the deal. But anyway, imagine if this guy now have been protecting Jehovah Witnesses, and he's seen the ugly part, and then we had the other thing they lost now, and you see the ugly part and the ugly part and the ugly part of Watchtower. Maybe he's just having, well, hopefully it's all rumors, but I see it's highly likely that the poor guy woke up, and because you wake up when you see that it's all a lie.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah, at some point your cognitive dissonance breaks down. It needs a lot. If there's enough pressure applied to your your convictions, your how do you say that? Your paradigms. When there's enough pressure, it breaks. So probably in this case that was the case.
Yeah. No, we feel sorry if it's true. But I'm pretty sure that you run out of motivation to defend the undefendable, especially if you're not paid for it.
Yeah.
Then there's like no motivation to do it. So I hope things work out well for him and his wife and his kids. And like I said, this is only hearsay because I never spoke to him personally. So we're looking forward to the protest. I can show you the signs we're putting up here. So I didn't have to bring my signs, but let's see what happened today. So this is the first of many updates. See you in paradise. You want a last word?
No, see you later maybe.
Okay.